Nice to meet you guys. I'm Lightling. You can call me Luke, and this is my first video for this channel. And today I want to make a video, and this is going to be pre-writing the movie The Batman. And obviously I haven't seen it yet. It's freaking pre-write, so I'm hoping that movie's trash, so that way I can pre-write it. Although low key I'm kind of hoping it's really good. But yeah, I'm a big Batman fanboy. I've loved Batman my whole life. I got all the games. I got all the, well, not all the comics. I was gonna say I have all the comics. I barely have any Batman comics. Well, actually I do, but it doesn't matter, okay? This is a pre-write for the new Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson, and it'll obviously be a Batman themed movie. And also, I just want to start off the pre-write by saying this will not be Batman the Batman. This won't be Batman the Batman. This will be Batman Vengeance. And the reason why I'm naming it Batman Vengeance is because of the title. And I'm pretty sure there was a comic called Batman Vengeance. I don't really know. I just know I know all the Batman stories, at least like a lot of them. I know enough to say I'm a true Batman fan, okay? Don't kill me. And enough to know what the fuck I'm doing. This is my Robert Pattinson Batman rewrite. So I guess we should begin. That seemed nice. So, I think it should start off not with Bruce Wayne's parents being killed. Like, it tricks you. We get to see these people coming through an alleyway with their kids. Well, not with their kids, with their son. We don't really need to give them names. You think it's Martha Wayne because she's got that pearl necklace. You think we're gonna see that scene again, but then you look up into this. But then you look up into the sky and you see Batman, and he just jumps on top of the guy, break the guy's arm, and like just takes the gun out of his hand. And this Batman's a bit more brutal. He's still learning the ropes. He's obviously new to this. And this movie mainly focuses around him learning about why he shouldn't kill. Because like he has these moments where he wants to kill these criminals, he wants to slaughter them, but obviously he doesn't, because he's like goddamn Batman. Why would he do that? It wouldn't make sense. And also because like he just has these moments where he's trying, like he wants to break the line, like he has a gun up to someone's face, but he just doesn't pull the trigger just because he can't. He can't. So we start off with him, and he gets a call from Alfred. Mr. Wayne, you're gonna be late at your own party, sir. Like I care for that. Like he just doesn't care. He's not all into this party stuff, into playing the role of Bruce Wayne. You get these tiny glimpses of him, like remembering his parents being killed, but you don't actually get to see them die. You just hear gunshots in his head. You get to see these these moments, like you get to see you get enough to see it was the Red Hood who killed his parents. I'm just gonna that. I know people didn't like it when Joker was the one who killed his parents. Don't worry, it's still Joe Chill, but he was the first Red Hood in this. I want to do that to give in some parallel to the movie, because this is going to be just as much as a Batman movie as it is a Joker movie. It's kind of like, you might as well call it Batman and Joker. Yeah. So we get to see Joker. He's like a stand-up comedian. He he tells these jokes. No one's laughing. Not funny. And then like these people start throwing potatoes at him, and he thinks self-harm is funny. So he just like writes these sick things out that he thinks people find funny, which is really a commentary on real life. How we like seeing people get hurt. How we find that humorous. And like it's like he has a mental health problem. He obviously isn't mentally well. He's not stable. And but he but you know, he's just, you know, able to get by because he remembers what his mom always used to tell him: smile. And, you know, that's what he continues to do. He just smiles. He smiles till his heart is aching. So, you know, obviously, you know, he tells another joke. People start throwing tomatoes, but this time they start throwing glass bottles. They start, you know, start, you know, just throwing things at him. And he just has this uncontrollable laughter, so he can't really control, like, when he's laughing. I heard about this surreal symptom that people have. I think that would be cool to add in here. So, we see, these, guys in the alleyway. Joker's just walking, and he's like, he doesn't want any trouble. These guys just pull out a knife on him, saying give him the money. And Joker's like, he has no money on him. He's poor. He doesn't have that much money. He doesn't have any money to give. And they're like, you know, you're lying. Give us the shit, we shake you. And Joker's like, no, like, no, I know how. And he just randomly breaks out into laughter. And he just keeps laughing. They're like, you think this is funny, man? You think this is a joke? You some kind of joker or something? And then he just keeps laughing. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. So, like, you get to see this shit, and it's like, what? And it's like, what? It's like, you know, like, these people are watching this happen, and they're like, look at that freak. And then they just start beating on him, beating him, beating him, beating him, beating, and just don't stop. Like, they're pretty fucking brutal. The Bruce sleeping, we get to see him walking through an alleyway, but then we see his parents right beside him, and that alleyway turns into a tunnel, and we get to see fire coming from the back of them, and they start running, and Martha and Thomas fall out of the tunnel to their deaths. And then Bruce sees it, and that fire is coming from a giant bullet, and the bullet, it's coming at him, and you see the person holding the gun. It's a barrel, and it turns out that tunnel's a barrel for a gun. And you see the person holding it is Red Hood, and before the bullet hits him, he wakes up, and you know, he goes out because the main reason for him vigilanting is his parents' death. He goes out every night dressed up like a bat, and he goes fight crime. We also get these scenes, these flashbacks of him remembering his parents, before they died. We get to see the movie that he was watching. It was about some guy who not just wore a mask, but like he dressed it up as a bat, and he saved people. He was a hero to many. He was dark and brooding, and Bruce always liked him. He collected the comics for this character. He was basically like any average fanboy, really. He remembered his parents buying comic books of this character and giving it to him before they died, and it's really nice to see. And then we get a cut of Batman going to the Batcave, talking to Alfred. Alfred's just like, couldn't sleep. Bruce is like, I have no time for sleep. As long as the man who killed my parents is still out there, I can't sleep. No one will be able to sleep knowing that more people's lives are in danger. But in reality, it's really that he hates this guy. He wants to hurt him. And we get to see Joker feeding his mom, and his wife is in bed. She's pregnant with her kid, and he's like, so what are we gonna name the kid? And like she's like, what are we gonna name the kid? And he's like, well, if it's a boy, Jack. If it's a girl, how about Harley? And this is really just setting up some stuff for maybe the future of these films. Yeah, I know. I know. But you know, I want to give, and also this is supposed to be rebooting the DCU anyways, from what I've heard. So we can do this. we can do this. And hey, maybe Jared Leto, or maybe this can still be Jared Leto's Joker. Maybe we can get a more sympathetic side of this character. Or maybe it doesn't have to be Jared Leto. Maybe we could just switch the casting. We switched Ben Affleck to Robert Pattinson. We can have like maybe Bill Skarsgård. I love that guy in it. He's awesome. So we get to see him, taking care of his wife, taking care of his mom, and this is all about one bad day. I mean, not a star. Taking care of his wife, taking care of his mom, and we set up this one bad day. So the next day, he's like going to talk to his mom. Waking her up because we're gonna say she loves eggs and bacon. And he's like, Ma, eggs and bacon are cooking. She doesn't get out of bed, and this worries him. He goes there and he sees his mom lying on the bed, dead. And he calls 911, and they weren't able to save her. And then he goes to the place where he works. He's kicked out. He's told that he can't work anymore. They found someone new who can entertain the people. Someone who's way better than him, and he gets fired. And then he gets beat up in the alleyway. And at this point he really has no options. Because now he's broke, he has no money to provide for his wife and unborn child. He just got beat up. He lost his mom. What can he really do? And that's when these guys, wearing leather jackets with some red hoodies, come up to him and talk to him about something, some offer that they have, something that they would like to tell him about. And they're like about this Red Hood gang, and they can hire him. They can pay. He can get as much money. He just has to be. He's just a cover guy. He does the dirty work, so that way they don't have to. And it's like, what happened to the last guy? The last guy killed the Waynes instead of taking the kid. He was supposed to take the kid, and that way they could threaten him for money. But instead, he just killed the people. So now he wants I guess we'll name this guy John Doe. Yeah, I love that game, John Doe. And he's and he has to find Bruce Wayne, and threaten him for money and take something that this guy cares about. So we get Batman doing some investigation work. He's beating up some thugs who know some stuff about the Red Hood, but not everything. So at this point, he thinks that Joe Chill, with the Red Hood is still Joe Chill, because he looked up the stuff. Joe Chill is still apparently the Red Hood. No one knows about his death. He's just considered deceased because he went missing. So no one actually found the body, which means he could still be alive. So yeah, John kind of joined at the wrong time. So that's when Bruce realizes that there's one thing that he can do now, and that's when he decides to put on the cape, to put on the cowl, and he's just going out. He's finding criminals, and he goes, and this is where we start building up. And just so you know, guys, this is Act 1. This is the one bad day aspect of all of it, and really setting up everything. So we're getting into Act 2 soon, but we need to finish up Act 1, because this is gotta be a short video. So Batman finds this kid. He's stealing the tires off of a Batmobile, the pre-Batmobile, and this kid's like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, "The real question is, who the hell are you?" And he's like, and he says his name's Jason Todd. He takes a wrench and he just starts attacking Batman, but Batman like dodges. He's like, "No, you don't." And he just, grabs Jason and asks him this question: "I have one question for you." And Jason's just like, "What?" "Are you hungry?" He gives him something to eat because this is a poor kid, an orphan. Jason tells him about, his origins, basically. And and he decides to adopt the kid, knowing what it's like to lose his parents. And I wanted to make Jason the first Robin for the final, well, not for the third act of all of this. There's 4 acts. The one bad day, the the mistake, the outcome, the redemption. And I think that the redemption is him redeeming himself, because throughout this, all he's thinking about is vengeance. He doesn't care about anything else. He pretends to care about helping people. In reality, he's only doing this for himself. And throughout this whole entire time, he's manipulating Jason. He manipulates Jason to helping him do these things, and he makes him Robin, and they go out fighting crime. And Jason, he's enrolled into the school, and he meets this girl named Barbara. They become really good friends. And Jason, he's kind of like cocky. He's kind of like Jason from Titans. Like he's cocky. He's hard headed. He goes in fighting with fists first instead of reasoning. One time they're trying to fight these criminals, and then GCPD shows up. They start shooting at them. Batman, captures one criminal, puts a bag over his head before they leave, and puts him in the Batcave, making sure they don't know it's where they live, and Batman does this basically torture. Like, he's pretty much doing this stuff. Like, he tells Jason to go out the room, close the door, and you just hear these screams, and he gets this information, and he's like, so all these crimes, Batman is doing. So, it's just awful. He's doing these despicable things in order to get these vengeance. So, we get to Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises, and we get to see Joker. He has this sniper rifle, and he's like ready aim, fire, and he starts trying to shoot at Bruce, but he moves out of the way, and he's like, Joker will do anything to help his friend, to help his family, and he gets down there, and they hired another assassin to help him take down Batman, and his name is Slade Wilson. So we get to see this little fight between Bruce Wayne and Slade. Slade's like trying to beat him up, but Batman, he just kicks Slade's ass, and he's like, "No, you don't," and he's just like, "Try me, bitch! Try me, bitch! Try me, bitch! Try me, bitch!" And Slade's just like dead, and like we get to see Batman versus Joker, and Joker just takes down Batman. Well, not takes down him, but like he gets a few good hits in, but obviously Batman goes in for the win. I'm sorry, but Batman always wins because he's Batman. So he's trying to look for something that maybe Batman might need. Maybe something Batman might want, well, Bruce Wayne might want to get. So Alfred's there at Wayne Enterprises. Not Batman. Alfred. Yeah, Alfred. And he goes there, and when he's there, he grabs our pre-Joker grabs Alfred, and he says like, if you don't, and he says that, meet me at Ace Chemicals, or your precious butler's dead. And as he's there with Alfred, he says, "I don't know what I'm doing." He takes off the helmet, and he realizes it, and Alfred realizes this isn't this isn't you know, Jack. This isn't you know, Jack. I mean, this isn't Joe. This isn't Joe Chill. He tells him that he needs to leave. Batman's coming. He's gonna kill him. He needs to let him go. And he's like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm really sorry about this. I really didn't want it to end up like this. You know, he's trying to apologize, but then Batman comes and he just attacks first. So does Robin. He comes. He breaks some of Joker's legs, and Batman you know, says that, you know, he's just a monster. He's a criminal. You killed my parents. And by the way, just so you know, he has the helmet back on. So then, so Alfred's just telling him, no, stop, please. And he's like, Alfred, be quiet. I'm here to help you. And he's like, Alfred, he's trying to warn him that he's about to make the biggest mistake of his life. And then Batman throws him into the chemicals. And then, you know, Batman is like, you know, so and Batman is like, there, now it's done, you know. And then this is when Alfred tells him, this isn't the man that killed your parents. This isn't Joe Chill. And that's where we're going to leave off for Act 1. I think Act 1 we didn't really do much for Bruce Wayne, like we mostly focused on Joker and character, and I think the next act we're really going to be focusing a lot more on Batman and Jason. The first act is more of Joker's you know, it's more for Joker than it is for Batman. So the second act will be going to Batman and about his personal stuff, and we'll be going to Jason. It'll be going into in the fourth act, and the third act will be going into you know, I guess the redemption arc, but you know, I already told you about that. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you like this video, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.